Okay, let's talk subtraction. First off, let's look at a standard subtraction problem. 5,273 take away 4,348. If you were to do the subtraction by hand, you're all familiar with this. The first thing you do, you can't do 3 minus 8, so you would borrow from the 7, it becomes a 6, and now you've got 13. 13 minus 8 is 5, 6 minus 4 is 2. You can't subtract 3 from 2, so we borrow from the 5, it becomes a 4. We borrow 10, so 12 minus 3 becomes 9, and our answer would be 925. Now, the reason you borrow 10 is because it's base 10. When we're in a different base, you're going to borrow whatever that new base is. So for instance, this problem, this is not on your worksheet, it's just one I put up here. If we need to borrow anywhere in this problem, because this is in base 6, we're going to have to borrow 6, not 10. So you begin this problem from the right to the left, just like you would in base 10. 5 minus 3 is 2. No problem, just write the 2. And then we come to 3 minus 5, which we can't do, so now we're forced to borrow. The 2 becomes a 1, but instead of borrowing 10, we're borrowing 6 because that's what base we're in. So 3 plus 6 is 9, and now I have 9 take away 5, which is 4. I can't do 1 minus 3, so I borrow again. This becomes a 3. I borrow 6, so 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 take away 3 is 4, and then 3 minus 2 is 1, subscript of 6. 1, 4, 4, 2, base 6. So now let's look at some of those on your worksheet, the subtraction ones. The first one is 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, base 2. Take away 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, base 2. So this is a problem working in binary, which means all you have are zeros and ones. So the first column here, 1 minus 1 is 0, that's fine. We just write 0. You can't subtract 1 from 0, so we borrow. That becomes a 0. We borrow 2 because we're in base 2. So 0 plus 2 is 2, minus 1 is 1. 0 minus 0, 0. 1 minus 1, 0. Okay, now we can't subtract, so we have to borrow. But you can't borrow from here because this is still 0. So we borrow all the way over here from the 1. So it goes to 0, and we add 2 here. But we need something over here. So we borrow from this 2, it becomes a 1, and we get 2 over here. So 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0 and 0. And you don't need the zeros at the beginning. So we get our answer of 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, base 2. And the other subtraction problem on the front of this worksheet, we have E 23461 base 16, subtracting A, B, C, D, E, F, base 16. You have to love this one, full of letters. So you've got to be really good at knowing what your different letters stand for. Since this is in base 16, we have letters representing the numbers all the way up to 15, because the numerals we're going to have are numerals for 0 through 15. So this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, which means I'm going to have a whole lot of borrowing in this problem. I can't subtract, so the 6 becomes a 5, and I borrow 16, so this is 17, take away 15, 2. I can't subtract, so I borrow, this becomes a 3, I just borrowed 16, so 5 plus 16 is 21, take away 14, 7. Can't subtract, so I borrow, this becomes a 2, add my 16, so I've got 19, take away 13, which is 6. Still can't subtract, so I borrow, this becomes a 1, I'm borrowing 16, so 2 plus 16 is 18, take away 12, 6. Can't subtract, so I borrow, the E becomes a D, and I borrow my 16, 17, take away 11, 6. And lastly, we have D take away A. D represents 13, take away 10, 3. So 3, 6, 6, 6, 7, 2, base 16.